Wild Thyme Cooking with Allison Davis is brought to you by Corman Kitchen and Bath.
Welcome back to Midday Kentucky. Chef Allison Davis here in the Wild Thyme Kitchen. Hope you guys are having a great day. I am making a simple chicken dish. This is probably one of the kids' favorites. It's chicken Parmesan, and if you don't eat chicken, you could do this exact same recipe using eggplant. And I'm telling you, my daughter is now a big fan of eggplant. When you serve it like this, it honestly tastes like a cheese stick. So definitely think about meatless, or in this case, go with the chicken. But we're doing classic chicken Parmesan, and I tend to do a little shallow fry when I do my chicken parm because I really want it to have a really nice crispy texture. And in order to get that crispy skin and that crispy breading, you have to follow a certain procedure. This is called the three-step breading procedure. So we're just going to take our chicken breast, and then I first go into like a seasoned flour. So I have a bit of salt and pepper in this flour, and we just want to really nicely coat the chicken in the flour just all over, and then we let that excess flour kind of shake off. All right, then we go into a wet mixture. So this is eggs, like an egg wash. You could also use buttermilk, milk, but typically eggs is great because it serves as a nice binder. So we just want to make sure it's really nice and submerged in the egg mixture, really nice and coated. So the flour helps the egg to stick to the chicken. And then we're going into a breadcrumb mixture. Now I've got a little bit of Parmesan cheese and parsley in this, but salt and pepper, Italian seasoning would be just fine in the breadcrumb mixture. And really kind of pack it in because this is what's going to give it that texture. And I always go with panko breadcrumbs, which is a Japanese style breadcrumb because it just has a better texture. It's more coarse than the fine Italian breadcrumbs. Notice I've flipped that over a couple times just to really kind of pack that in and give it a really nice crust. At this point, it's ready to go into the pan, and so I've got a nice hot pan here, and we're just going to lay that chicken down and just let it simmer and get really nice and brown on all sides. And then we'll flip it and then brown it on the other side. We won't necessarily cook this all the way through because with chicken Parmesan, it's going to get baked, and so we would finish it off in the oven, but we certainly want to make sure that it's really nice and brown and crispy on the edges, okay? I'm going to grab a paper towel here, kind of wipe off my hands, and then I'm going to show you the toppings that are going to go on this Parmesan. You could definitely buy store-bought, or you can make your own marinara, but there are some really great brands out there. One in particular I think is like Newman's brand, and they have a really clean marinara sauce that actually part of the proceeds of that goes to charity. So it's a really good, clean product. But just looking at your labels, if you're watching calories or watching sugar or watching like artificial preservatives, there's always a ton of variety in marinara sauces. But if you just turn that over, you will certainly find some that are completely clean and perfect for use. So just as a convenience method. All right, so our chicken, as you can see, is starting to get a little brown around the edges. So that's really what I look for whenever I'm browning or cooking my meat. I look for it to start to get just slightly brown. You see how it'll start to climb up the sides. So I just look for it to get slightly brown around the edging. I want to have some nice color on there. And again, that's just going to add caramelization. That's just going to add that crispy texture. All right, once you see the nice brown ring all the way around, then that gives you an indication that you have a pretty beautiful, as you can see, just sear all the way across the bottom. All right, we'll finish cooking this side, and then we're just going to pop it over on top of paper towels. And then what I'm going to do, if I were doing this for a family, I might do it in a large casserole dish, but I'll layer the chicken, then we'll go with a little bit of cheese, say Parmesan, mozzarella, then top with the marinara again, top it with some parsley and some basil. So I'll put this together and you guys will see the finished product. You know where to find this recipe, of course. Go to middaykentucky.com/recipes. You can also click on the video and watch this again for any questions you may have about searing. You're watching Midday Kentucky. I'm Chef Allison Davis. We'll be right back after this short break.